Greetings everybody, this is Red on V4. Thank you for joining me again. I'm sure you noticed that my audio is a lot better because I am recording through my computer through a dedicated microphone that is more or less studio quality, but it kind of doesn't really pertain to the video. So this motorcycle is a 2000 Honda CBR 929RR. Sometimes it's known as 900RR, depending where you are. So the gentleman found me, as you probably can recall from my previous videos where I mentioned this gentleman being from a different city. So this actually gentleman is local, but his bike was in a different city. And he came to me for a few things to be done. So the tires needed to be replaced because the tires were very old. I think from 2009 sometime. The front one was Batlax, a Bridgestone Batlax, if I'm not mistaken. This one was original from 2001, which is dangerous to keep it on a bike because that's your steering wheel. A steering wheel. Sounds different, isn't it? Steering tire, I suppose. And the back one was a Shinko, which I have no issues with, but it was from like 2009, as I mentioned before. What else? It needed a brake fluid change. It didn't need a clutch fluid change because the clutch is just a regular cable. And oil change, a few bits and pieces that I added along the way. Because the bike needed to be ready for the season. Also, the bike needed the front and the back brake pads because the old ones were very worn. The customer chose Michelin Pilot Power 2CT tires. I have no issues with them. They're pretty good. They're more or less kind of mostly touring tires, but you can kind of race on that. No issues, especially if you don't go on the track. But Michelin is a reputable brand anyway. Please notice that the new tire is already installed and balanced. I never record how I do it because it's boring and it takes a little time. Here I started pumping the brakes, and pretty soon you will see the result. I did the left caliper first and then the right. And now it's a good time to fill up the brake fluid container and to seal it up. And now let's flush the back brake fluid container. The CBR 929RR holds 3.7 liters of engine oil or 3.9 quarts. The bike also had an ignition issue, which means that whenever you turn the key in the on position, the fuel pump should prime, but it wasn't. The problem was that the ignition that was damaged prior, the original Hyundai ignition, was replaced with the cheap eBay one, and the cheap eBay one didn't have a special diode that's supposed to be in the ignition. I was able to rebuild the Hyundai ignition and install it, and lo and behold, the fuel pump works. And now the moment of truth, whether this bike runs after 2 years sitting or not.